Okay, Javier, I think we're on fire. Finally, we have time to record something. This is because the holidays are coming. So this video is also about 24.2, and it's about the central package management, which sounds like a mouthful, but it's something really useful that also we have been using before. I will tell the story. I was writing a blog post about this where you show up, so I will finish the blog post later. So this idea. So you have the same wizard, but the wizard has a different option now. And okay, we will choose XPO, of course, here. And here we have this option, central package management, which maybe will not make sense for a lot of you, but I strongly recommend you to use it. So let's click here. Next. Let's see authentication standard. And this is not important because it's about the package management. So in the blog post, I will mention one meeting that you had actually with Manuel about the directory props that was like super mysterious at that moment when we met about it. So, okay, this is the idea. So before you have in each of the projects, you have to set the versions for the nugget that you're using in the solution. So here, as you can see, this package reference show the name of the package, but not the version. And it would look strange because I was expecting for them to do something a little bit different. But what happened is that you have something that is called the directory props, which is basically an XML file which contain the correct version for each of the packages. So you don't have to specify that in each of the projects. So that's good because sometimes when you want to update packages and you have a lot of projects in your solution, it can go crazy. One doesn't update because it has reference to the other and so on. So this way is way easier. So what they did is like, if we open the directory here, you will see that there is a new file that is this one, directory package props. So what I do usually, because the Sync framework works like this actually, I mean, I use the directory props. I usually put it as part of the solution so I can see it. So I will here add existing item. And go here and add it. So what happened is that now we have this directory props, and here you actually have the version of each package. So if you change the version here, it will change it in every project that is in this directory that doesn't have a specific version. Also, now that this file is there actually in the folder, you can do it to create variables. Before we did it with variables with Javier, so we put a variable for each version and then we replace it in the project. But this way is way more cleaner. So the only thing that I will wish for is that they have the option that to put this file as part of the solution, because most people will not notice that it's there. So you can get lost there. So I know because I've been using it before, but this is also something really mysterious because there's no much information about it, or there was not before. I remember that, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 7 years ago, we were talking with Javier about this, and I found a book in Amazon, which actually I'm going to reference on my blog post. It's the only book where you can learn things about how to put the variables at the project level or in the directory props. And it's about the MS Build type of engine that is the engine that is used to compile the applications. So what do you think about this, Javier?
It brings a lot of memory. I think that that meeting with Manuel and that build props and so on, that was 6-7 years back. Definitely an improvement. I think that it really helps you in the management of all your package and all your reference. It's a beauty that you only have to change it in one place. We all have been there with a big solution, 12 projects, one referencing one version, the other one referencing another one, and things got chaotic, and then you do the project convert and didn't go and change all your files, so you have to do a manual search and right now I only think, Jose, about the whole CS project with that huge, crazy XML. And right now things are so clean. It's just like change here. your whole project is updated. You are in the new version. Boom. That's it. It's
I
just,
feel
it's
like
just
I feel like you're spying me because I was writing about the old CS Pro and how complicated it was because everything has to be explicit. In the new version of the SDK projects, is the opposite. There are defaults, so you don't need to write
exactly.
everything in the file. So they are easier to edit. And now, since we're going back on the cycle of the technology, somehow like console is back to being one of the main things like .NET New, right? And also you don't need the UI for these things because here if you double click the project you can see the XML, and before you saw the property window, and maybe the property window didn't have all the properties that you actually need. So
No,
this
and you have to
is way
load the
better.
project to be able to edit it, and you have to
Exactly.
be careful because you can break everything. It's just a more cleaner implementation.
Yeah.
And I only think how all of this helps a lot for CI/CD, how all of this thing helps a lot for all your management of
Yeah.
the reference. That's what definitely one of the things. Like I have this on my computer, but I don't have that reference on yours, so I have to
Mhm.
update it. Right now, it's just simple. Change it here, and you're good to go. And of course, you can disable it if you don't want it. So
Yeah.
it's you only have always have that choice. And these are the type of things, Jose, that it just makes sense. That I always think like I'm happy to have it now, but I
Yeah.
only think why it has taken so long for this type
Yeah,
of
this took like 10 years or eight or, or something
thing.
like that. And also a lot of pain because I remember when we were experimenting with Xamarin with you, that you have to do something like the full multi-target thing in a single project. And also it was super complicated. I remember we had a lot of suffering in that era of the Xamarin era. And nowadays like click, click, and it's by default and it's so easy. So I'm looking forward to have this as a standard, to be honest. And the only thing that I will change for Developer Express implementation is to include it as part of the solution, because most
Yeah.
people will not notice that it's actually there. So that's it.
As we always say, there is no better time to be a .NET
Web
developer or a
developer
SAP
than now.
developer
Yeah,
than right
we
now.
should change the slogan of the company. Like there is no better
Yeah.
time to be a .NET developer than now. And okay, guys, that's everything for this video. I hope that this is useful for you. Um, Please stay tuned for the blog post about this and see you in the next video.
See you in the next one.